I forgot to give you the spiral for this week. It's okay. It's going to be a nice weekend anyway, so you can enjoy it and I can enjoy it. So we had a few problems. I don't think it's too many. Just set everything up. 9. Well, so again, this is just multiplying fractions, so we want to simplify before multiplying, right? So the same thing, numbers haven't changed, the product hasn't changed. So the only thing is, if you want to simplify before multiply. So let me just write it a little bigger over here. 15 over 24, they're both negatives, so I don't have to worry about my answer. It's going to be positive, right? Notice that, no, sorry. Divided by 8 is 2, divided by 8 is 3, divided by 3 is 1, 15 divided by 3 is 5, and I think that's it. So we got 10 over 21. Okay, so again, you simplify by dividing a number on the top in the numerator, or in a number either denominator, and you divide by the same number and you simplify, right? And when there is no more numbers to simplify, then your product here will be in the simplest terms. Okay, so again, let me just do that again, just in case somebody else did it differently. I'm gonna do, I don't know, 21 and 15. Let's do that. 15 divided by 3 is 5. I'm gonna divide 21 by 3 as well, so that gives me 7. And then 16 and 24, I'm going to divide both by 8. 16 divided by 8 is 2. 23 divided by 8 is 3. And as you can tell, I can't simplify anything else. So that still gives me positive 10 over 21. Then you have 14. Yeah, 14 is 3. 4 over 9. 7 over 8, negative. And then negative 36 over 49. Yeah. So it's going to be a negative product because we have an odd number of factors being multiplied that are negatives. Simplify, 4 and 8 becomes 1 over 2. 7 over 49, 749 becomes 1 over 7, right? 7 divided by 7 is 1. 49 divided by 7 is 7. 9 and 36, 9 divided by 9 is 1, and 36 divided by 9 is 4. Ooh, I can simplify 2 and 4. 2 divided by 2 is 1, and 4 divided by 2 is 2. Now, I have nothing left to simplify. So on the top, 1, 1, and 2 gives me 2. On the bottom, 1 times 1 times 7 is 7. All right, so a little walk down memory lane. However long ago you learned to multiply fractions. 62. Okay, fine. Okay, negative 22.91 times negative 6.5. Notice that I'm not lining up my decimals. Not important when you multiply decimals. So I know this has 2 decimal places. My other factor has 1 decimal place. So my answer is going to have a combined. I combine both of them, and I need to have 3 decimal places in my product. All right, so multiply. 5 and 1 is 5. 45 goes 4. 14, 11. Before I do 6 times 1, I'm going to add a placeholder there. 6 times 1 is 6. 654. Carry the 5. 12, 17. Carry 1. I get 13. 5, 11, 9, 8, 4, 1. And my product needs to have 3 decimal places. Start from the left. 1, 2, 3. And there we go. The final answer, 148 and 9/15 of thousandths. Okay. 93 is our next victim. Carolyn, I was going to read Crayola. Carolyn buys a car for which she makes car payments of $243.56 per month for 5 years. Yikes. Actually, that's not bad at all. So she pays $243.56 a month for 5 years. What is the total amount she pays for the car? Well, every year has 12 months, so times 5, she made this payments for 60 months. This has 2 decimal places. This has 0 decimal places, so our product has to have 2 decimal places. So let's multiply. Placeholder. 6 times 6, 36. Carry the 3. 33. Carry 3 again, 18, 21, goes 2, 24, 26, carry 2, 14. I think I'm correct. 2 decimal places, 1, 2. Final answer, she ended up paying $14,613.60 after 5 years. Okay. What number was that? No idea. That was a 98 is next. 98 and 99. 98. Alfred pays at $175 per day. How many days does he plan to commute? So he pays $175 a day. He budgets $591.50 for his bus commute. How many days does he plan? Wow. Okay, so this is a division problem, right? So he has $591.50, and he wants to know how many days that will last if he keeps using $175 per day. Well, I didn't talk about division today, but you should. So we're going to multiply 175 times 100, right? So if I multiply that by 100, what ends up happening? This decimal moves 2 over to the right. And we talked about that today, right? It gets 100 times bigger. So if I multiply that by 100, so let me multiply this by 100. It becomes 175. And if I multiply that by 100, I have to multiply this by 100. And that's going to get 100 times bigger, right? So that's actually going to change to 59,150. Now, it's much easier to imagine how many times can 175 go into 59,150 than $1.75 going into 591.50. I think and that's why we change this to a whole number. Okay, because it's easier to see it. Okay, and then now we divide. Okay, so 175 does not go into 5, does not go into 59, but it goes into 591. I'm going to say 3 times. So I'm going to put a little 3 over here. So you know what? Let me erase this before I confuse everybody. Right, so now it becomes a nice whole number division. That's 15. Carry 1 is 22. Carry 2 is 525. So subtract. 11 minus 5 is 6. 8 minus 2 is 6. Bring the 5 down. And 175, can it go? Yeah, it can go 4 times. So 175 can go to 665 4 times. 4 times 5 is 20. Carry 2, 28, 30. Carry 3, and I was wrong. So it can only go twice. So it's going to be, 3 times again. It's going to be 525. Subtract 4, 1. Then we're going to bring the last 0 down. And 175 goes into 1400. Ugh, no idea. 175. 7 times? Maybe 8 times? Let's try 8. 8 times 5 is 40. Carry 4. 8 times 7 is 56. 56 plus 4 is 60. So that 0 comes down. 6 go up. 8 times 1 is 8. Plus 6 is 14. Ta-da! Wow, that worked out nicely. So if he budgets $591.50 and each bus ride is $1.75, he can commute for 338 days. Okay. All right. So a little bit of work. Division is definitely more work than anything. That was 98. 99. A farmer sold 3/5 of his 56.5 tons of hay. How many tons of hay did he sell? So he sold 3/5. Ugh. Now, 3/5 of 56.5. Now think about, let me change the question. What if I told you the farmer sold half of his, and let's make this a whole number, 56 acres. 56 tons of hay that he had left. Think about that for a second. Well, and I asked you, hey, so how many tons did he sell, right? If it was half of his 56, you would do half times 56, and that would be 28 tons, right? So the idea is the same. Okay, so of here, we're going to translate that. That is going to be multiplication. So 3/5 of 56 and a half. And that's the operation that you have to do. Well, 3/5 stays as it is. 56 times 2, 112, plus 1, 113 over 2. Ugh, yuck. Let's multiply this. Can we simplify? No. 5 and 2 is 10. At the bottom, we get 339. And then we're going to change this to a mixed number. 10 goes into 339 33 times, which is 330. 9 over 10. So how many tons of hay did they sell? 3/5 of this amount of 56 and a half is 33 and 9/10. That was 99. 100. Again, same idea. The idea is 3/4 of 120 and 2/3, right? So it's you interpreting this as 3/4, and there's your of right there, right? 120 and 2/3. Okay, so 3/4 times, that's 360. 362 divided by 4, sorry, over 3. Right, 362, 320, yeah, 60 over 3. Can we multiply this, simplify? Yes, thankfully. This 3 and this 3 becomes 1 and 1. 362 is now, we can divide it by 2, make our life a little bit easier. And that's going to be 181. Yeah, 181. So our final answer, not final answer, but 181 over 2, which we want to change that to 90 and a half. Right, 2 goes into 180 90 times. You have 1 left over and a half. And what are we calling this? What number is this? Tons. Okay, so 3/4 of 120 is 90 and a half. 100, 106. There's a 106 here. Yeah, on the other side. Martha leaves 4/5 of the value of her vineyard to charity. The charity inherits a value of $68,452. What is the total value of her vineyard? Ooh, okay. So let me see if I can draw this out for you. So there was this vineyard, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So there's 15, and let me shade in 4. So this much left to charity. And we know the value of that. The value of that is 68,452. So the 4/15th is equal to $68,452. Right, so how do we find out the total value of our vineyard? Well, we can find out what 1/15th is. That's one option, right? So I know 4/15th. So if you think about 4/15th, 68,452. So these 4 pieces together is 68,452. What if I divide 68,452, divide that by 4, then I get the individual value of each 15th? Yeah, I'm pretty sure I would. So 68,452. Okay, so if you divide that by 4, divide that by 4, and I'll do that. 1, 4, 28, 7, 28. Bring the 4 down. It's going to be 1. 4 minus 4 is 0. Bring the 5 down. 4 goes into 5 one time. 5 minus 4 is 1. Bring the last 2 down, which makes it a 12, and 4 goes into 12 3 times. So each piece here is worth 17,113. So all we got to do is multiply that by 15, and we get the total value of our vineyard, right, which is, let me do it over here, 17,113 times 15. 15, 6, 5, 35, and 8. And then we're going to write 31171, and our final answer should be 256,695. So that's the total value of the vineyard. Let me do what we just did. 106, 106. 109 is next. John owns 120 shares of the stock, which drops 14 3/8 of a dollar per day per share in one day. How much money does he lose in that day? God, if I've been in that position. So 120 shares. Each share loses this much. Each share loses that much. So we're going to do 120 times 14 3/8. You have choices here. You want to change 3/8 into what do you call a decimal? Can we? Well, 8 goes into 3. No. Out of 0, can 8 go into 30? Yes. 3 times, which is 24. Subtract, that's a 6. Bring a 0 down. 8 goes into 67 times, which is 56. We're going to have a 4 left over. Bring another 0 down. And then 8 goes into 45 times. So 3/8 can be written as, 120 multiplied by 14.375. Now, the question you got to ask yourself, is it worth it to do all this, right? Find out what 3/8 is and then multiply 120 times 1435? Or, so let me continue with that. Here's 14.375. I'm going to multiply that by 120, right? Or if you did it, just kept it as a fraction, let me just do this on top here, you would have to do 120 times 8 times 14, 112 plus 3, 115 over 8, and this is a 0. Which one would you rather do? Change the 3/8 to a decimal and multiply the decimal equivalent of 14 3/8, or just keep it as a fraction? It's your choice. Let's see. I'll do both. 8 goes into 120 15 times. So 8 divided by 8 is 1. 120 divided by 8 is 15. And then we multiply 115 times 15, which is 25, 75, 15, 0, 115, and we get 1325. So 1,325. Now at the bottom here, would have been the same answer. So it's just a matter of you multiplying and figuring out which one you want. Okay. Well, in a second. There's something wrong here. Something is not 8 times 4. Did I add that correctly? 113, 112 plus 3, 115 over 8. Hang on a second, guys. 112 plus 3 is 115 over 8. Okay. $1,725. What did I do wrong here? 1 times 5 is 5. 1 and 1 is 1. 5 and 5 is 25 goes 2. 5 and 35. Wait, 25. There should be a. Okay. 5 goes 2, 7. Okay, what did I do wrong here? Sorry. 25 goes 2 is 7. It should be a 5. Oh, that should be a 5. Sorry. So 1,725. Apologies. Okay. 111. What number times 15 2/3 is equal to 56 1/2? So think about it as you can set it up like that. You can call this an equation, which is probably the easier way. And how do we find what this x equals to? Well, we're going to have to divide 56.5 divided by 15 and 2/3, right? And then we get our value of x. Let's see if there's an easy way. There's no easy way. 112, 113 over 2 divided by 15, 45, 47 over 3. Okay, so we're going to change this to multiplication by multiplying by the reciprocal, and that's not the reciprocal. And this is the reciprocal, 3 over 47, and there's nothing to simplify. Are you kidding me? So that becomes 94, and that becomes 339. Doesn't say simplify, so that would have been okay. 339 over 94. Okay, if you want to go crazy and change that to a mixed number, be my guest. 113, again, same type of question. Oh, so this one, what number must be divided? Ooh, well, same. So what number, let's call it divided, if you want to write it like this, divided by 28 and 3/5 is 35. If you wanted to write like this, equals 35, that's okay too. So how do we solve this? Well, we're going to multiply, right? So think about what number divided by 28 and 3/5, what do you call, is equal to 35. If you were to doing equations, which is coming up next, right? So if you want to isolate my variable and have x by itself, I need to get rid of this 28 and 3/5. So we're going to do times 28 and 3/5, which is going to make these two simplify to 1. So, and now I'm going to have to multiply the other side by 28 and 3/5. So this one, you might actually want to, so if you think about it, x is 35 times 28.6, right? Because I changed 3/5. So think about whichever one is easier for you to do. You want to multiply 35 times 28 and 3/5, change that to an improper and do everything else. Or here, take the decimal version of it. So we have 28.6, we're going to multiply that by 35. That might be the easier route here. 33, 43, carry 4, 14. 18, 24, 25, carry 2, 6, and 8. There. 0, 1, 0. I hope that's right. One decimal. We're going to go and put the decimal between here, those two. And our answer is 1001, assuming I am correct. Yep, 1001. Okay, so you have to choose whichever one you were more comfortable with. We have one more. Yeah, one more. 115. If half of 3/4, well, if half of 3/4 of a number is 60, what is that number? So let's translate that. Half of, there's my of, 3/4 of a number, let's call it n, equals 60. That's what that says. So over here, let's work on the left side. On the right side, there's nothing to do. But on the left side, I can combine these two fractions, right? Instead of saying half of 3/4, I can just say 3/8 of a number. So take 3/8 of a number, and that's 60. 3/8 of what number is 60? That's what we're looking for. So again, how can we do this? Well, we can multiply by the reciprocal, right? If I multiply this side by 8 over 3, oh, that simplifies to 1, which isolates my variable, right? I get rid of my coefficient. I get a coefficient of 1, I apologize, right? And then on this side, if I multiply the left side by 8 over 3, I have to multiply this side by 8 over 3. Put it over 1 if you like. 60 and 3 can be simplified. 3 divided by 3 is 1. 60 divided by 3 is 20. And I'm left with 20 times 8, which is 160. So if you took half of 3/4 of 160, that should give you 60. And let's confirm that. Let's see if that works. So let me put this over 1. And let me simplify. Well, 4 and 160 can be simplified. 4 divided by 4 is 1. 160 divided by 4 is 40. I can simplify 2 and 40. 2 divided by 2 is 1. And 40 divided by 20. Sorry, 40 divided by 2 is 20. Nothing else to simplify. All my denominators are 1, 1, 1. My numerators, I get 1, 3, 20. And 3 times 20 is 60. So look at that. My left side equals 20 and my right side equals 60. So we know we're good. Okay, that was it. Very it.